I'm fully aware that by the end of this video, half of you lot may hate me, and half of you may love me, but I have decided to try and do an in-depth breakdown of Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton's careers, and I'm going to try and come to as close of a definite answer as to who is the better driver as possible. Now, before I talk about any statistics, we have to talk about preconceived bias. We all have it. I have it, you have it, listen to the commentators for fuck's sake. It's there. I personally will admit to having a Verstappen bias in the championship, mainly due to just wanting a new champion in the sport. But outside of this championship, I don't have strong feelings either way. I'm a Gasly fan, so I should really like Max less. But yeah. So let's put these notions aside, let's look at the facts and figures. On the surface, it looks like Lewis is the better driver. 7 F1 Drivers' Championships, 100 wins in the sport and breaking just about every record available. Max, on the other hand, has 0 championships and 18 wins in the sport. It's pretty obvious. Though Max is only 24, 12 years junior to Lewis. Lewis Hamilton at 24 had just managed to win his first title in 2008 and had 9 wins in the sport at that point. If Verstappen wins this season, then he will have a better record at the same age. So Max is better, right? Well, Max has been racing in the sport since 2015 with 136 starts. Where was Lewis at 136 starts? Well, he was halfway through his second season at Mercedes, 7 seasons into his career. At this point, he had 25 wins in his career, still with 1 championship, but well on his way to his second. But Lewis always drove for a top 3 constructor, whereas Max raced 23 times for Toro Rosso, the 7th best constructor in the standings for 2015. God, this is all so hard to compare. A lot of people would like to compare youth formula results, as it's generally a much more balanced field. The only issue is that Max did 1 season of Junior Series before getting an F1 seat, the 2014 F3 European Championship for Van Amersfoort Racing, and he came 3rd with Ocon winning the title. Lewis raced for 2 years in the F3 European Championship, or as it was called then, the F3 Euro Series. He'd come in 6th the first year, racing for a pretty terrible Manor Racing team, before winning the next year in an absolutely dominant performance for ASM, who were the ART predecessors. Again, it's not the easiest to compare, as Verstappen would most likely have done almost the same in his second season, judging by his improvement over the year of his first season. God, this is awful to find anywhere to compare. So maybe, just maybe, comparison to teammates is the best way to go. Right, I'll be back in a while as I take the average positions for Verstappen and Hamilton versus all of their teammates in races of which both teammates finished. Right, now that's done, Lewis had an average position of 2.94 over the 221 races that both he and his teammates finished, with his teammates having an average position of 3.80. This is a difference in position of 0.86. Max, on the other hand, had an average position of 4.19 over the 84 races both he and his teammates finished. His teammates had an average position of 5.95, a difference in position of 1.76. Now this indicates Max is better against his teammates than Lewis, and I just know what you're going to argue, because I'm also going to argue it too, that Lewis Hamilton raced against Alonso, Button and Rosberg as teammates, who are all world champions in their own rights, and this will skew the results. There is also the argument that Max raced against weaker teammates in Gasly and Albon, but seeing as Lewis had Heikki Kovalainen as his teammate for 2 years, that bit balances out a bit more. So after all that number crunching and analysis of the history of both of these drivers, who's the better one? Well, I can't really tell you. I think we'll have to wait another 15 years for when they've both retired, and only then can we truly compare. Yeah, this video was a massive waste of time. Now go, shoo, and just go and enjoy the sight of 2 of the greatest racers ever to grace this earth competing against each other at the top of their games. We are truly lucky to witness this season. So stop being so toxic. Thank you lot for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, and you know what, drop me a little follow on Twitter. It's @Stokesy_YT, and I will catch you lot in the next video. Goodbye.